ورتل القرآن ترتيلا.
الحمد لله وحده والصلاة والسلام على من لا نبي بعده. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. Assalam-u-Alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to this lesson of Qur'an Tajwid course ورتل ترتيلا. As you know, friends, we are learning the rules pertaining to the letters Noon and Mim and the nasalization or Ghunnah in them. In the previous lesson, we learned that there are 4 gradings or levels or lengths of Ghunnah. And those levels or lengths we saw are Akmal, Kamila, Naqisa, and Anqas. Out of these levels of Ghunnah, we just discussed one, and that was Akmal, or the most complete Ghunnah. If you haven't watched that lesson yet, you can do it by clicking this I button above. Now let's move forward and learn the other levels of Ghunnah. Before starting to learn other levels of Ghunnah, I just want to let you know that these are not kinds of Ghunnah. These are just levels of Ghunnah. And from these levels of Ghunnah, we can understand how long or intense a Ghunnah should be. Let me give you an example to make it clear. See, in the last lesson, we learned that this Akmal Ghunnah, or the most complete Ghunnah, is applicable to Noon Mushaddad, Mim Mushaddad, and Idgham Ma'a Ghunnah, right? So the length and intensity of all these Ghunnah is the same, but they are different from each other in terms of how they sound. Ghunnah on Mim Mushaddad sounds something like this. Imma or Amma. On Noon Mushaddad, it sounds something like this. Inna, Anna. It is different from the Ghunnah of Mim Mushaddad. Naturally, because here we are reading a Noon with our tongue touching the tooth ridge. And our mouth is kind of open, like Anna, Inna, okay? While the Ghunnah in Mim Mushaddad is done with closed lips. Naturally, because Mim is articulated with the joining of our 2 lips, like Imma or Amma. While the third kind of Ghunnah we discussed is completely different from both these. Idgham Ma'a Ghunnah sounds something like this. In or Ang or Ain. In. So when we say that these 3 kinds of Ghunnah, that is Ghunnah on Mim Mushaddad, Noon Mushaddad, and Idgham Ma'a Ghunnah, are instances of Akmal Ghunnah, or the most complete Ghunnah, that only means they have the same intensity and length, but not the same kind of sound. And they are still different kinds of Ghunnah in their respective category. Okay? Now the next length or level of Ghunnah is Ghunnah Kamila. It means complete Ghunnah. The first one was the most complete Ghunnah. Now this is the complete Ghunnah. Okay? This is the second longest Ghunnah. It applies to An-Noonul Makhfat wal Mimul Makhfat. So what are these An-Noonul Makhfat and Al-Mimul Makhfat? An-Noonul Makhfat is a Noon Sakin followed by any of the following 15 letters. That is Ta, Tha, Jim, Dal, Dal, Za, Sin, Shin, Sod, Dod, Ta, Va, Fa, Qaf, and kaf. These 15 letters are called huruful ikhfa. And when they come after noon sakin, this noon sakin is pronounced through nose only, without touching the makhraj of noon. Like anta, mundiru, insanu, ma dakhala. This noon in these words is noon makhfa, or the noon of ikhfa, or the hidden noon, and it has the second longest level in terms of gradings of Ghunnah. Okay? So this noon of ikhfa falls into the level of Ghunnah kamila, or complete Ghunnah. One more kind of Ghunnah which falls under this level of Ghunnah is iqlab, or qalb. Now what is this iqlab or al-qalb? When a noon sakin is followed by the letter ba, this noon sakin is changed into a meme and read with Ghunnah, like mim ba'dihi man bakhila bidhanbihim. So when the letter ba comes after a noon sakin, this noon sakin gets converted into a meme accompanied by a Ghunnah. And this Ghunnah also falls into the level or grading of Ghunnah kamila according to its length. Okay? The third kind of Ghunnah that falls into this level is ikhfa of meme sakin. So what is this ikhfa of meme sakin and when does it happen? You know, when a meme sakin is followed by the letter ba, this meme sakin is concealed between our two lips while preparing to read the next letter, that is ba. Like here in these phrases, rabbahum bihim, or tarmihim bihijaratin. So here we conceal this meme sakin between the lips in order to prepare for reading the letter ba after it. This concealment of meme sakin usually happens in between two words and not in a single word. And it is accompanied by Ghunnah, and this Ghunnah also comes under the level of Ghunnah kamila, or complete Ghunnah according to its length. So this level of Ghunnah, that is complete Ghunnah or Ghunnah kamila, is found in noon of ikhfa, noon of iqlab, and meme of ikhfa. And it is the second longest Ghunnah after the most complete Ghunnah or akmal Ghunnah. The third level or grade of Ghunnah is Ghunnah naqisa, or incomplete Ghunnah. This Ghunnah is shorter in timing than the complete Ghunnah. It is found in an-noonul mudhira and al-meemul mudhira. Now what are these noon mudhira and meme mudhira? Noon mudhira is a noon sakin which is followed by any of the 6 throat letters, or al-huruful halaqi. So if a noon sakin is followed by any of these letters, that is hamza, ha, ain, ha, ghain, or kha, this noon is articulated with a short Ghunnah. We neither have to conceal it nor elongate it. It has to be read properly without any extra efforts, like minhu, min ghayrihi, liman khashiya, an'amta, etc. Here we make this noon, which is followed by huruful halaqi, apparent without any extra Ghunnah on it. Okay? It is called noon mudhira, or apparent noon. Now meme mudhira is also a meme sakin which is followed by any letter except 2 letters. And those 2 letters are meme itself and the letter ba. So when mim sakin is followed by any letter apart from ba and mim, it has to be read with only the natural gunnah present in mim without any extra efforts, like lakum dinukum, alhamdu, amwaluhum. No extra efforts needed to read this meme. Okay? We make this meme sakin apparent without any extra efforts. This meme is called meme mudhira, and it is also apparent like noon mudhira. Now these meme mudhira and noon mudhira, or apparent meme and apparent noon, are read with short ghunnah. Actually with the ghunnah that is naturally present in them without elongating them. And they fall into the level of ghunnah naqisa, meaning incomplete ghunnah. Now the last or the fourth level of ghunnah is anqas ghunnah, or the most incomplete ghunnah. This is the shortest ghunnah of all. Noon mutaharrika and mim mutaharrika fall in this level of ghunnah. Now what are these noon mutaharrika and mim mutaharrika? If you have watched lesson number 8 and 9, you must know it. A letter is called mutaharrik or mutaharrika when it has any of the 3 vowel signs on it. That is fatha, kasra, or dhamma. So mim mutaharrik or noon mutaharrik is a mim or noon which has a fatha, a kasra, or a dhamma on it. This noon or mim is read with the shortest ghunnah, which is naturally present in these letters mim and noon, like ma, mi, mu, or na, ni, nu, or in the words bimukhrijina, ni'mata. Actually, we can never stretch this noon mutaharrika or mim mutaharrika, even if we want to. You know why? That is because they are followed by a short vowel sound, and we have to read this vowel immediately after them. So these noon mutaharrika and mim mutaharrika, or vowel noon and mim, fall into the level of anqas ghunnah, or the shortest ghunnah, because we do not elongate or stretch them, and we read them very quickly. So these were the levels of ghunnah according to its length and the kinds of ghunnah that are read with these levels. Remember that the difference in timing between these different levels of ghunnah is very minute. Only an experienced listener or a reciter can tell the difference. So you need to listen a lot to the recitation of the Holy Qur'an in order to figure out the difference. My dear friends, please bear in mind that here we just learned the levels of ghunnah, and we were just emphasizing on the length and intensity of ghunnah here. We did not learn the kinds of ghunnah in detail. We just had to touch upon the kinds of ghunnah in order to understand the level of ghunnah that applies on different kinds of ghunnah. Okay? We need to learn more about these kinds of ghunnah like idgham, ikhfa, idhar, or ikhfa noon sakin, or ikhfa mim sakin, etc. And that is what we will do in the next lesson. So see you in the next lesson, inshallah. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين والمسلمات. Assalam-u-Alaykum ورحمة الله وبركاته. A gentle reminder. ILM Explorer channel is dedicated to the teachings of Islam. Our aim is to bring people closer to their Creator by spreading the word of Allah and His Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So, if you want to learn the teachings of Quran and Sunnah, then do subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon to get notifications of all our uploads. If you want to appreciate the efforts put in creating this content, then like this video and comment on it. And if you wish to be a part of this pious cause, then share this video as much as possible. It will be a sadaqah jariyah for you, inshallah. Thank you.